Hey, Doug Shumway, Sweet One Media, and for this one, we're going to show you how to create an agenda item layout template. So the process goes, you actually do the Word template, you get the header, the look and feel right, then you actually add the sections in there and do the section template layout so all the sections are lined up the way you want to in the right structure. And the last thing is the agenda item layouts. This actually shows the system or tells the system how exactly we want the agenda items to lay out underneath of each section. All right. So basically, we have the agenda that we've been working with right here. If I do a quick preview, it gives me a quick look at it and say, okay, so all the wording's the word agenda's right, the sections are right. And now let's go ahead and do the last step. Now, if I go back over to the example that the client provided, which is a Word document, I can see the opening public hearing here. They actually have the name with the outline number. Right below that, they use the description and content here. So what it needs to be is an outline number with the agenda item name, description, label, and a merge field right here. Luckily, we actually have an item description field, so we can actually use that. But either way, I need to actually build this in a table. So first of all, we need to get an example in there to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and actually create a new agenda item. Switch over, hit new agenda item. I want to put under that first section and paste this in there. Now I brought the number over. We're going to build that dynamically, so I don't need that number. I'll go ahead and delete that. Item category doesn't matter what I pick. I pick system admin, doesn't really matter. And I put 0 as the ID counter, so because I'm not too concerned about that. So go ahead and hit save here, and it'll actually drop it in here based on whatever default setting I have it set to currently. So we got item layout, it's just the name and number. If I hit preview, it's going to do that. Not anything close to what we need, right? Again, we need the name, description, outline, all in one spot. Alright, so now this is where we can switch over. We'll close out this. We can actually switch over and go to our partner portal to take a look at some options we have in here. One under templates, we actually have agenda item layout templates and some examples that we've used for some of the client base. So you can go through here and actually say, is this one I want to use? That's actually pretty close, but it looks like that's kind of tight. I don't know if that's in a table. If I scroll down even more, I can actually see this one. Looks kind of similar. Yeah, that's pretty close. I need the name and the right spacing, looks like almost, and then the outline number with a field here. Okay, I'm going to use this one actually to get me started. Click off that. I'm going to hit Get HTML. This is where I get that HTML for the item layout. Hit C here. Copy it. Go back over to the system. Now I'm going to switch to HTML mode. Remember that. And hit V. If I go to design, now I can actually see it. Now, this is not perfect, right? This is actually a different size font, different everything. So I can actually, even using our editor, say, you know, I don't need a full justified text. They don't have full justified text. I don't need recommended action. They call it description. So I'm just going to actually make changes here. Right. Now they don't bold alternative actions. So I'll go ahead and unbold that. And actually remove the italics as well. Oops. There we go. Now, I'm going to remove the italic from that one as well. If I actually select it. And then what I can do here is outline number. That's all fine. If I want to, I can actually select it all. If I want to change it to Times New Roman, I can, and make it a 14 font. A little bit closer. Now, they don't use alternative actions. I'm actually going to change the merge field here too. So I'm going to go ahead and change alternative action field to the item description field. Item description right there. Hit save. Now, because I'm using that merge field, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to actually enter some data in here. So this is a description text. There we go. Now I can see that out again. If I go up here, I can do a preview. Actually, it's a little bit off. Not too bad. I need to add a break between there. So again, I can go back to the editor, and this is where I can start doing the tweaking. So if I want to add a break, I'm going to just do something simple. Hitting a carriage return right there. Hit save. Again, I can go up here and hit preview to preview it out as well. Notice the description is not bolded. We need to actually bold the description. Bold. Again, I can save it out and continue to do this until I get exactly what I want. There's pretty close description, field text. There's the name of it. If I bring in the Word version, you can see how we actually are almost there. Now I may want to tighten this up, the spacing between the outline number and the name, or move this over just a little bit. Again, that's where the tweaking comes in. And if you really want to tweak it, you really need to use the HTML editor here. And that's where you make those changes. You can see how we have the width set. I'm not going to make you watch me do all that, but you get the point of how you can actually make changes to this and actually tweak it to get exactly the right layout. Now, what I'm going to do here, again, I saved it. We just changed this layout, this one particular item. I want to make this a template. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do the same thing we did for the sections and select all this, copy, and go over to the tools and pick templates here, and you have item layout templates. Now, I'm going to hit new because I want to call this the example items right here. And then I'm going to go again to HTML mode, paste that in there, hit design. There it is for me. I'll save this out. Now, when an agenda is created, we want this layout to be automatically associated with every section that it needs to be associated with. So the last step in the phase is, a process should say, if I go to tools here, I'm going to go back down to our sections. Actually, I'm going to go up here, sorry. Go to the section templates here. And remember, we have our section example that we built. Here's an example of it, where it has outline number, the right spacing and table. We did that earlier in a different screencast. But now I'm going to change the default item content for this section to example item layout. So every time this section is used, it's going to associate that layout with it. So when we create a new agenda and it has that section, it'll automatically pre-populate those items with that particular layout. So that's how you actually create an agenda item layout within the system.